Hello, Jason. So I thought I could do a quick video for the review. Thanks for sending in your shot. This is looking really well. I remember seeing the older version. So I put up some notes. I see that there was another person who already gave notes. So my notes are in white. And I'm just gonna walk through some of the things that I saw. So I'm gonna break it down into two or three things, I guess, in terms of things that you definitely must look into fixing, and maybe the minor things that you can fix once after that, and some negotiable notes here and there, polish notes. So the biggest thing that I saw was the spin once he jumps uh, over here. The spin, it's a tough thing in general, animating that spin, making sure that it is fluid and looking good to the eye. I So basically what I feel right now is the character up until this point is pretty good. As long as the character has some sort of a contact, it is possible to adjust and use that as the balance and move the body. But from frame number 43, if you see, the COG kind of goes down. That is believable. But then after 46, it suddenly goes up. So there is no force which is allowing the character to go up. Even the momentum would be tough for the character to go up. Basically, it feels like there's sort of a pendulum motion, a circular motion with the pivot at the center, and it's basically the COG is at the other end, and it's basically rotating that. That is possible if there is something attached there, so there's some sort of a arc that's missing over there. The sudden going up, the curling of the entire character and the body going up feels unbelievable. And once you kind of get down, I think that's fine. So I had a look at the reference, and we actually see clearly in the reference of what's happening when the character is turning. So all your poses are good, it's just the placement of the poses. And to fix that, I would suggest selecting all the IK parts and adjust the curve as it goes. For example, as you see here, until here is pretty good, and after this the COG keeps on going down, it never goes up. So it takes sort of an arc, so something like this one. The COG arcs and the COG continuously goes down, and while it's going down, it does a spin. So it's still believable because it's still in that part of an arc, the energy is still going down. So if you track the arc of the COG, it is going up right now because after pushing from the leg, it's there's a force on the COG, and the COG goes up for a couple of frames, but after that all the energy, all the build-up energy is going into the twisting motion, but nothing upward. It's not being applied in the upward direction. So right now this is the highest point is what I would say, and since from 45 the character is continuously going down, and the entire focus is on rotation and trying to get that leg on the ground first. So that's something that is like the first thing that I saw in terms of body mechanics that needs to be kind of fixed. Other than that, like overall I think the body mechanics feel really good. And the other one that I saw, I think the other reviewer already mentioned, that is that the legs need to be straight in order to sell the weight. And I see it in the reference. If you see in the reference, you feel like the straight legs. This is a straight leg over here, even though you don't see it, you feel it. It's the push up, and this one is also a straight. And so those are really important. And one thing I really liked in the reference is the arc of the hand. This hand, on how the entire hand goes up and then down, and it feels as if the wrist is leading and the elbow is in delay. For example, it's going this way, not just like that. It's going in an arc, and placing the hand over there. So I would try to get that. It's a nice way to get like a nice silhouette of the arrow as well. If you check here, right now if you see, it's like just like that. So I would like if you can get the wrist and the elbow delay. So it would be a nice arc, and you can clearly see the arrow as well. That's like the main notes, is what I would say. And coming to the polishing notes, the body mechanics notes are making sure that the legs are straight over here, and especially over here, so you can raise the hip high. It would be tough to making sure that if you increase the distance at this point, you can raise the hip size, hips location. And I know pops are going to be tough, but since it's a run, I think it should be good. So that's one thing that's going to push this shot a lot. And yeah, if you check the reference with the knee, especially in a run, the legs sort of stay bent until the thigh reaches forward. It's just basically in order to reduce the amount of surface area, reduce the friction, keep it simple, and only once the thigh reaches on the almost the top level, only then the leg starts opening up. So you can try that, and this is really nice. Is the twist. So the leg touches first and then the hand touches. So you're pushing from there to this one. So I think that's already been mentioned, by the way. And then that's the twist energy that's kind of going there. And yeah, so it's mostly reflecting the other notes. And the other one was since this character has a really huge shoulder and huge chest area, I believe you need to have a little bit more animation with respect to how much the shoulder is going up and down. You do have the up, but it just stays there. It just hits a wall over there. Make sure that you have like a nice ease out. As the hand goes down, it can come down as well. And then here, it just creates as you can see, if the hand is kind of going up here, I feel like that the shoulder also should come up. And now again the shoulder should go down as the hand is coming down, and then again it just creates a sudden pop over here with the shoulder. So make sure that as the hand is kind of going up, the shoulder should lead the hand, lead the entire arm action. So that's one thing over there. I really like what you're doing with the other hand, like the entire shoulder going up and down, so that's nice. And the other thing that I saw, which you can move away from the reference to make sure that it's much more readable, is the arc of the bow. Right now the arc of the bow is pretty much similar, a straight line. I was wondering, this is something that you could try out and see how good it looks. What if you were to raise the hand a bit higher and get like a nice arc? So because the bow line and everything, I'm sure that would read very nicely. And it basically come all the way here with the bow kind of trailing the arc, and all of this is good. I would follow all the notes with the leg and everything. And the one thing over here is the same thing. Both legs are moving at the same time. It's kind of tough to do that. I know you're going for this pose, but I think it should be fine if the foot lands in that pose over here. Or you might have to make sure that happens way earlier, that rotation, and also that rotation should happen on the ball of the foot. Right now it's happening on the heel of the foot. So it should happen on the ball of the foot. There should be a controller. It's something that you'll have to do it manually. You can maybe put a locator at this area and rotate the foot. That's kind of tough, but that's the only way, I guess. If you want to rotate it like over the ball, if the rig has that, that's pretty good. Some rigs do have that option. So I would say it would happen maybe at around frame number 64 before he even gets this one, and maybe 64, 67 this thing finishes and this leg moves. But also when this leg is moving, the COG should remain over here because you're kind of shifting the weight. That does happen in the reference over here. If you observe over here, the character goes straight up but not towards right. and only once the leg is placed, the character moves to the right a little bit. So I think that would be a really nice addition towards the end. And the other one, I agree with the other note where you show the arm, show the elbow more, show a lead with the elbow. You see it in the reference as well. Anyway, yeah, you see how clearly we see the elbow, so you lead with the elbow, something like that. And what you can add is I really like the nuances over here, after which he leaves the string. One is the way that the hand kind of moves back, the slight jerk that goes back and forth, that's really nice. And also how the recoil of the string affects this entire wrist. So you see the bow kind of going back and forth. I think that would be a really nice addition which can show the weight of how and the force of the string, and how quickly you let go of the bow, of the arrow. So that's pretty much what I had in mind. And yeah, one more thing. So I think you can lead with the eyes here a little bit to just show. I know that I already mentioned that, and you kind of fixed that because he's kind of looking there. It's much more readable right now. But even over here, I think it's be really nice because this pose is really strong. And if you were able to crank the head so that he's looking in the direction of the enemy, so that it's much more readable. Like around here, we can connect to the character that he's looking somewhere over here, and that's his goal, like an anticipation for his bow and arrow. And yeah, so and he can look away after this one. It's a generally it's a good thing to show the eyes and connect to the character more. And over here, yeah, that should also help lead over there. I really like the jaw animation that you gave here. That's really nice. So these are all, I'd say, like minor notes. Pretty good shot. Let me know if you have any questions as such in terms of the things that I mentioned in terms of application in Maya and everything. But yeah, that's pretty much everything. Overall, I think it's looking really good. Perfect.